Great Dane Explain. This is Great Dane Explain, and today, Sidney Powell had previously said she was going to release the Kraken, and it looks as if we are approaching the Kraken release party.
Release the Kraken!
Sidney, thanks very much for being here. We appreciate your time this morning. I want to get right into it. We just heard about the software made by Smartmatic from Rudy, and I want to get your take on what you and I spoke about just a few minutes ago, and that is a gentleman named Peter Neffenger. Tell me how he fits into all of this.
Yes, well, he is listed as its former Admiral Peter Neffenger, or retired Admiral Peter Neffenger. He is president and on the board of Smartmatic. And it just so happens he's on Mr. Biden's presidential transition team that's going to be non-existent.
Real quick, here he is, Peter Neffenger, Chairman, Smartmatic USA Board. And here we go. In November 2020, Neffenger was named a volunteer member, I'm sure he's not being paid, of the Joe Biden Presidential Transition Agency Review Team to support transition efforts related to the Department of Homeland Security.
Because we're fixing to overturn the results of the election in multiple states.
Wait, what?
Presidential transition team that's going to be non-existent because we're fixing to overturn the results of the election in multiple states, and President Trump won by not just hundreds of thousands of votes, but by millions of votes that were shifted by this software that was designed expressly for that purpose. We have sworn witness testimony of why the software was designed. It was designed to rig elections. He was fully briefed on it. He saw it happen in other countries. It was exported internationally for profit by the people that are behind Smartmatic and Dominion. They did this on purpose. It was calculated. They've done it before. We have evidence from 2016 in California. We have so much evidence, I feel like it's coming in through a fire hose.
So quickly, from Heavy.com, more information in regards to Smartmatic. Problems arose with source codes according to ABS-CBN News, one issue unearthed. Commands to add, update, and delete existing database records lack enclosing transaction logic, which may affect database contents and may possibly result in database integrity and other corruption issues. Smartmatic's chairman is a member of the British House of Lords, Mark Malloch Brown, a former vice chairman of George Soros investment funds, former vice president at World Bank, lead international partner at Sawyer Miller, a political consulting firm and former vice chair of the World Economic Forum. Now, the AP debunked false rumors saying that Soros owns Smartmatic voting machines. He does not, says AP. But also, according to the AP, the chairman of Smartmatic and CGO Group, Mark Malloch Brown, serves on the Open Society Foundation Global Board. This is the foundation that provides a majority of the funding for the likes of Black Lives Matter, Antifa. Look it up. That's not what this video is about, but I'm just trying to show you that we have Peter Neffenger, who is on the board of Smartmatic, and who else is tied to Smartmatic? Mark Malloch Brown, who was a former vice chairman of George Soros investment funds. And we have Smartmatic technology intricately involved within Dominion voting systems.
Wow. So, Sidney, you feel that you will be able to prove this. Do you have the software in your possession? Do you have the hardware in your possession? How will you prove this, Sidney?
Well, I've got lots of ways to prove it, Maria, but I'm not going to tell on national TV what all we have. I just can't do that.
The elections are supposed to be certified in early December. Do you believe that you can present this to the courts and be successful within this just couple of weeks?
Well, let me put it this way. First of all, I never say anything I can't prove. Secondly, the evidence is coming in so fast I can't even process it all. But this is a massive election fraud, and I'm very concerned it involved not only Dominion and its Smartmatic software, but that the software essentially was used by other election machines also. It's the software that was the problem. Even their own manual explains how.
So now we are talking about two things, folks. The Dominion voting systems, which is the physical piece that you see in these pictures that people are using to vote on, but the software that operates within the voting system is Smartmatic.
Votes can be wiped away. They can put, it's like drag and drop Trump votes to a separate folder and then delete that folder. it's absolutely brazen how people bought this system and why they bought this system. In fact, every state that bought Dominion for sure should have a criminal investigation, or at least a serious investigation of the officers in the states who bought the software. We've even got evidence of some kickbacks, essentially.
Sidney, before we went to the break, we talked about, you said that there may have been kickbacks to some people who accepted the Dominion software. Tell me what you mean.
Well, I mean, we are collecting evidence now from various whistleblowers that are aware of substantial sums of money being given to family members of state officials who bought this software. I mean, we're talking about $100 million packages for new voting machines suddenly in multiple states, and benefits ranging from financial.
Which is true. You can watch a previous video I did on Eric Coomer. You can look at the Dominion contracts with states like Arizona, states like Georgia, states like Pennsylvania. These were $100 million contracts that Dominion was signing with these state officials.
Financial benefits for family members to sort of what I would call election insurance, because they know that they can win the election if they are using that software. It's really an insidious, corrupt system, and nobody in our government has paid any attention to it, which makes me wonder how much the CIA has used it for its own benefit in different places, and why Gina Haspel is still there in the CIA is beyond my comprehension. She should be fired immediately.
Sidney Powell, I hope she has a couple body doubles. I hope she has a hell of a security team, because she needs to be watching her six. And how deep does this go? We talk about the swamp, we talk about the deep state. How many people that are part of the US government are willing to take multi-million-dollar payouts to rig the election, or to turn a blind eye to blatant fraud? $1-million payouts, they take the software and they don't care about the results, because regardless of who's president, they're good to go, they're rich. I want to play this too. This is also from Sidney Powell today, just to explain in a little bit more detail about what this software is capable of.
Now this is even different. I just really want to be very, very careful here and be very meticulous about this. It's one thing to be able to watch it and decide how much more input you need to change the number, but now you're saying there's an actual way to change the vote tallies within the system?
That's exactly right.
That is a very, very big claim there. I mean, that would be voter fraud defined right there. What's the next step?
It's massive criminal voter fraud writ large across at least 29 states. It could have been happening. Anytime a voting machine was connected to the internet, and we have evidence that many were, it was obviously happening. It's obvious from the algorithm and the statistics that our experts are tracking out for batches of votes and when the curves changed. And it's going to blow the mind of everyone in this country when we get it all together and can explain it with the affidavits and the experts that have come forward.
All right, Sidney, we're going to leave it there. And
So that is where we are at today. Sidney Powell giving more information, more of an idea of what type of corruption we are looking at. Leave your comments below. This is Great Dan Explains. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video. I will talk to you soon. Peace.